Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children and of all ages and magicians around the world, welcome to another episode. This is where we make negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and negative self-talk vanish into thin air. Before we get into the show, I'd ask you to do another good deed of the day and press that like button. And it magically activates the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate that. Now, with all that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with such a great soul and just a good ass dude. Can I say ass on this? Of course, it's my show. I can say ass. A cool ass dude that I met my freshman year in college. In fact, I did this show with Josh Presley.
Presley, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the awesome TJ Harville. TJ, please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about yourself.
How you doing? My name's TJ Harville. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. Like you said, we met freshman year in college. Played football together, in the dorm rooms together. Went through all that freshman fun stuff together. So we go way back. I'm a chef. I've been an executive chef for quite some time. That's pretty much after I left college. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been focusing on, and doing that here in Lexington. And that's pretty much everything about me. I'm a chef. That tells you a lot.
Hey, that's right. It means the man knows how to cook and probably knows how to eat as well. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I can do both. Yeah. It's part of it.
Definitely. I can do one of the two. I can't cook, but boy, I can eat. All right.
Oh, yeah. I remember a few times when we were sitting in the cafeteria freshman year. I can remember a couple times. I can remember you eating.
Like no other. In fact, my freshman 15 actually turned into a freshman 25. Like literally, everything in sight. So, ladies and gentlemen, oh man. So TJ is 34, just like me, professional young man, and today he has chosen to get rid of which emotion, TJ?
Anger.
And he was going over a little bit before we got on here, but anger is the one that he feels as though is the one that he could show you guys more about and be a blessing for you all. So tell him just a little bit about why you want to get rid of anger.
I think professionally, in a kitchen, it's part of the culture. And it has been for far too long. It was part of that when I was coming up as a cook. It's just the number one emotion in the kitchen. There's tempers flaring, there's timelines, there's deadlines. Things have to happen quickly. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's dangerous. There's all kinds of things going on, and people want their food right now. People are paying a lot of money for this food, and they expect it to be perfect. And your chef expects you to be perfect, and I expect it to be perfect. And it's just, there's a lot of standards that need to be upheld, and you get angry. And it's been part of the kitchen culture for a long time. And it's something that I know is that I learned at a young age in the kitchen is not something that I want to be a part of, and something that I wanted to get rid of. And it's something I've been working on pretty much since my second job as a manager in a kitchen. Where I'm actually managing people and there's people looking up to me. I don't want them to carry on that kitchen culture of being angry, being upset. I just don't want that in kitchens anymore. And so I know that I have to work on myself and make sure that that's not a part of our kitchen culture. And so that's the number one for me, for sure.
It's awesome, man. Changing the ways around there, and therefore you're going to attract even more cool people, and you'll also be able to keep those standards high, but do it in a way where you don't have to, flare up at somebody too. As exactly. Much, you know what I mean? If you got to put your foot in somebody's tail here and there, then it is.
It happens. Sometimes you got to do it. But, I want to do that as little as possible.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So it's going to just make your management style quite different, quite honestly. And that's exciting. All right. Let's get it. So, all right. So in order to do this correctly, All you have to do is three things, all right? Number one, you need to use your imagination.
I think I can do that.
Number two, you need to follow directions.
I'm okay at that.
Oh, God, here we go. And number three, you have to trust the process, know that I'm your guide, and I'll be leading you through this easily and effortlessly.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't trust you. So let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into it, we're going to use that imagination and spark that imagination one time. So we're going to create a timeline. This is called timeline therapy. So by creating your timeline, you'll be able to do this a lot easier. So if your past could be to your left, to your right, or behind you, where's your past?
Behind me.
Where's your future?
In front of me.
Perfect. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to release this anger today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
Yes.
Awesome. What is the root cause of this problem? The first event, which when disconnected, will cause this problem to disappear. If you were to know, when was the first time that you felt angry? How old were you?
Oh, man. The first time I felt angry?
Between the ages of birth and 7.
I remember getting in a fight in kindergarten. So that was probably the first time I was angry.
All right.
With Kyle. That's all I remember. I don't remember much about it, but I remember getting in a fight in kindergarten.
All right. Most important question. Did you win? I'm kidding.
No, actually, I didn't win. A guy who ended up becoming my good friend came over and ended things before it could get too bad. So.
Gotcha. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and start the process. You go ahead and close your eyes and relax and let me know when you're ready for the process.
All right.
All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and spark that imagination again. Just imagine floating up above your timeline right here, right now, in this very moment, and looking at yourself from a third person point of view. And I want you to see the window behind you and to your left, your Memphis Grizzlies hat, the screen in front of you, the table in front of you. Let me know when you're there.
All right.
All right. Now, just imagine floating deeper and deeper into the past, above that first event in which you felt angry when you're a little kid, and just hover right there and let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
Okay. Now stay right there and ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event, the learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. This is an exercise of forgiveness and compassion. Forgiveness for yourself and others, and compassion for yourself and others. Focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser. And we're better people than we were when those events occurred. What is something positive and empowering you can tell that little boy and everyone else involved in the event with the consciousness that you have today that will allow the emotions to evaporate like water on the concrete on a hot summer day? And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Let me know when they're all gone. Take your time.
All right.
Awesome. Now, flow deeper and deeper into the past above the dinosaurs. Let me know when you're above the dinosaurs.
All right.
All right. Now float deeper and deeper into space, where space and the atmosphere connects. And imagine your timeline is the size of a fingernail. Let me know when you're there.
All right.
And as you float there, weightless, ask yourself, now, where are the emotions? Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
It disappeared.
Awesome. Float down inside the event, seeing through your own eyes, and check on the emotions. Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared? Now.
It disappeared.
Awesome. Float back above the dinosaurs and then float into space where space and the atmosphere connects. Let me know when you're there.
In there.
All right. Listen closely. Float high above each and every event in which you felt anger from birth until now in chronological order. Don't skip one. Preserve the learnings and let go of all the anger all the way back to now. Go. Focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser. We're better people than we were when those events occurred. Be sure the learnings are positive and empowering.
All right.
Awesome. So down into your body and open your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back. Pretty cool, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty relaxing.
Yeah. How often do you meditate?
That's probably the first time.
You know, that was Presley's first time when we did this together too.
That doesn't surprise me.
You country boys don't meditate.
Oh no, that's not something we learn growing up.
Mm-hmm. I think probably a good set of meditations is hunting and fishing. That's one of the best ways to meditate right there. We can just with yourself.
You know, and I hunt so much.
Yeah.
And I've thought about that a few times out there, and I probably have without really knowing that I was doing it.
Yeah.
Because that's if I'm not cooking, I'm hunting something
to cook. Right. That's right.
Yeah. So I love it. So yeah, that's good. That's a good place to do it. You're right.
100%. Now, can you remember a time in the past in which you used to feel that old emotion, and go back and notice if you could feel it, or you may find that you cannot?
It's different. It's still like I know that it was there, but it just doesn't seem like it matters anymore.
Why doesn't it matter?
Like it's just kind of pointless to hang on to it. Like, that's one of the main ones that I was thinking about was when my parents got a divorce. I was super angry. But it was something that's totally out of my control. Like you said, you can only control your response. There's nothing I could do about it. It's out of my hands. It happened so long ago. Why still be angry about it? There's not, let it, just let it go. So it's, I'm not going to say that it's still there, but I know that it was there, and it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you don't feel that charge anymore.
Yeah, you don't feel like when I think about it or talk about it, I don't have the same feeling of anger, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's deep. That's deep as hell. Wow, that's a good one, man. I'm glad to get that off your chest.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. What about like something that would have pissed you off in the kitchen? How does that feel now? Like when you think about it.
Feels more like a learning experience now. I can kind of look at it from a different angle. One of the main ones was the only job I ever walked out of. I was in Chicago, and it was my first kitchen management job. I was a sous chef at a brand new restaurant. I was there when it opened, when we first started. We won best new restaurant in Chicago. We won all these awards. I mean, it was just it was nuts. I was the only sous chef, and then the executive chef was my boss.
Uh-huh.
I had 4 people underneath me that were all older than me, that were all better cooks than me, that all knew more than me. And I had to figure out a way to manage them. So the only way I knew how was to outwork them. So I was there nonstop. I was the first one in. I was the last one to leave, and I worked every single day for a year straight.
Wow.
Every single day. And then things deteriorated between myself and the executive chef, and they just kept getting worse. And I wanted to go home for a holiday because I hadn't had any days off. I had, nothing. And, he went off on me, and I hadn't had any days off. So I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he followed me down the road for like 2 blocks, like screaming at me, yelling at me, "You'll never work in Chicago again. I'll make sure you never get a job here." And that was it was horrible. And I was so angry. And I've carried that one with me for a long time. But, now when I think about it, looking at it at a different angle like we did, it just feels different. It just doesn't. It feels like there's nothing to be angry about. I kind of put myself in that situation and let myself get taken advantage of. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the kind of chef I didn't want to be, and things I don't want to do in the kitchen, and the kind of chef I don't want to be. I learned a lot about cooking and organizing from the guys around me because they were all older than me, better cooks than me. And, one of them lives in Atlanta, and he's an amazing chef, so you might have to hit him up next time you go visit. So
let's do it.
So it's, it's just different, it feels different. Cause that's one that was a very significant point, in my career. That's, I guess haunted me for a little while. But when you stop and look at it from a different angle, it just feels different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you were releasing the anger, did you have like a visceral feeling of you letting it go?
My shoulders like kind of relaxed a little bit. 'Cause I carry a lot like up in here, and I'm always just like tense.
Yeah.
I just kind of relax. Like I just kind of like kind of had like a Zen moment, just like kind of just relaxed, which is something I generally have trouble doing.
That's so cool. Like for the people out there that have never done this, like how would you describe like the whole process for them?
You really have to, like you have to follow like all the things that you said. You really have to follow them, because at first, like I wasn't really like following it, because that's just too, like I said, that's just who I am. I'm not very good at following directions sometimes. But once I like kind of guess like let go and just kind of, like you said, like trusted the process and just kind of like let it happen and like really started thinking about it. I started seeing these instances in my life from a different perspective. And that's, like kind of when I looked at the first one from a different perspective, and then it immediately kind of feels different. Like the whole incident like feels different. That's when I was like, okay, all right, you got me. All right. So let's keep going. So yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It, if you, it's like anything else, you get out of it what you put into it. If you half-ass it and you're just like, well, I'm just going to close my eyes and listen to this guy talk for a little bit, and then that's going to be the end of it. Then you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you really stop and you take some deep breaths and you think about it, yeah, it definitely makes you see things much, much differently.
Yeah, it's awesome because it's a perspective shift. Like you saw it from like, you take things personally so much and you just take it from this one perspective this whole time. And then all of a sudden, when you look at it from outside the view, just like you would like a friend. So if like when your friends like ticked off and they're like, oh, they're angry and they're like, oh man, I can't believe this. I can't believe. And then you're like, bro, just chill out. What if this and that and the other? It's kind of the same way. It's looking at it from a third person point of view, taking yourself out of that scenario, and then kind of like having compassion and forgiveness, you know what I mean, for that event, and then just learning from it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And one more thing. So how's that perspective about that kindergarten fight? How's that perspective now?
It's different. It is. I mean, it all feels different. I mean, it's just stuff that I get angry about or upset about just doesn't really matter. Like it just doesn't. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it to carry it and be upset about it. So it feels a lot different.
Yeah, better to learn from it.
It is, yeah. I mean, that's all we can do is take it and look at it from a different perspective and try to learn from it and be better next time.
100%. And this is permanent because like you can't see from anything but this perspective now. So this is permanent. So like all those things that used to tick you off, they're gone now. And anything that triggers you in the long run later on, you're like, all you gotta do is say, hey Chuck, hey, this ticked me off. I don't know what happened, but let's just do this. Because things happen. You just release one like level of it. You know what I mean? Because we didn't go through like the different process that I go through with my coaching, but like there's going to be levels and levels. Like for example, when I released anger, I released a bunch of anger, and then I didn't think about racism within that anger, so I have to do it again. You know what I mean? And then I didn't think about police brutality, and I had to think about it, and then I had to do it again. It's a process. It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it works.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. All right, bro. Hey, thank you so much. And also, like I say to all my guests, not only do we clear up this one negative emotion, but we also get to clear up the other two. Since you did anger, we're gonna do sadness and fear, but that's off camera, you know what I mean, just between he and I. So he's gonna feel a hell of a lot better. But yeah, man, just thank you. Thank you so much for being just cool as hell. I just appreciate you being a blessing to these folks out there that may need this.
Yeah, man. Hey, no problem. I'm happy to be here and happy to do it for you, man.
Yeah, for sure. You want to say anything out there to the folks out there, or what?
I mean, hey, I'm one of the most skeptical people out there, but I've known this guy for a long time, and we go way back, and I mean, if I trust him, you should too.
I'll take that for sure. I'll definitely take that. All right, you guys. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Mindset Magic. Once again, please hit that like button to, like I said, have a good deed for the day and give this blessing to another person out there that may activate this with the YouTube algorithm. Many blessings upon everybody out there. And with that, take care of yourself and take care of one another. Peace.